Valve Source games are some of my earliest memories of multiplayer gaming. I was only 6 years old when my brother got this copy of Counter-Strike Source that also included Day of Defeat Source in Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. This was back when Steam looked like this, phones looked like this, and people downloaded music off LimeWire and put it onto MP3 players like this. Right now though, we live in an era of live service games that eventually die and become unplayable when their servers get shut down. We even have games like Roblox and Fortnite that can't be played offline and have countless game modes that can be removed at any time and can never be played again. Looking back, I've realized how special it is that we can still play the same maps and modes that were available in the mid-2000s. Now, I'm a very nostalgic person, so I made it a point to take the hard drive out of the computer I first played these games on and save the maps that were downloaded on there around 20 years ago. And there's so many of them. There's at least 400 from Half-Life 2 Deathmatch and a couple hundred more from Counter-Strike Source. Now there's definitely not enough time to go through all of them here, but let's take a look at a few and see what we can find. Baron Mag 2 is actually a map I remember quite vividly from back in the day. When you spawn, you're placed in the middle of this hub room with a fountain that plays the Dire Dire Docks theme from Super Mario 64. I will not be playing that music since I don't want to get an orbital copyright strike from Nintendo. Now there are 4 doors to choose from, each of which leads to a different hangout spot. Now first up is the game room. This is a little space where you can play 3 different board games. There's checkers, there's tic-tac-toe, and there's chess. Tic-tac-toe is simple enough, it just works by pressing these buttons that correspond to the spaces on the grid. Chess and checkers work by just moving the pieces with the gravity gun. Now this map was made very soon after the release of Half-Life 2, so being able to do this with the physics engine was really novel at the time. There's even little elevators so you can have a better view of the boards. I will say that the chess pieces require some imagination to interpret correctly. I mean, this is supposed to be a knight. Now I can sort of imagine people actually crowding around here to play these games, although it would only take one person to just use the gravity gun to punt the pieces all over the place and ruin the game for everyone. So maybe this was better to play with friends rather than in public servers. And then there's a music room with a dance floor and a lot of buttons that play music. But unfortunately I couldn't get any of the music to work for the life of me. I'm guessing that the server would have downloaded the songs automatically when you joined and I just don't have them. I mean, it probably would have been copyrighted music anyway, so I probably wouldn't have been able to play it. But I remember listening to the music here back in the day, and I remember that there were some other maps that had rooms like this. And then we have this build room. Here you can spawn these props and build stuff in a sort of pseudo-Garry's Mod type way. Apparently you would need some sort of server plugins to actually allow you to freeze and rotate props, but I don't have those, so all I can do is just grab props and throw them around and get run over by a truck. This would have been the main attraction of the map, and I can only imagine the stuff that people would have built here, but having played Garry's Mod for so long, it's hard to imagine building anything without a fizz gun. And last up we have the gift room, which was always my favorite as a kid. There's all kinds of these random props and toys here. There's portable elevators, there's pet watermelons you can take for a walk, there's healing lightsabers. I always liked these little things that made trails of light wherever they went. There's also a bunch of these ramps that fling you forward like crazy, and these movable portals that take you back to the fountain room. And you can also play my favorite sport. Fireball. There are also these weird platform things next to the wall, and I don't really remember what they do.
This energy empowers us. This energy empowers us. This energy empowers us. This energy empowers us.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, God, oh, God, oh. Okay, going over here now, okay, fuck.
But anyway, this map brought back a lot of memories, and it sort of reminds me of a simpler time where just the fact that you could play board games with a physics engine could be pretty mind-blowing. Now let's see what we can find in Counter-Strike Source. KA Soccer is one of several sports-themed maps that became somewhat popular in 2006 or so. Basically, it's just a football game mode. There's a football placed in the middle of the field, and the goal is to use your knife to get the ball into the opponent's goal. And when this happens, all the members of the opposing team are instantly killed, and the next round begins. Now I don't have anyone to play with, so I just added some bots who have absolutely no idea what football even is. Now the mode is simple enough, and it's another example of the kind of thing that you could make with the Source engine that you definitely couldn't make before. The map was created by someone called Lolo Boo Boo, who apparently made quite a few maps for both Counter-Strike Source and Half-Life 2 Deathmatch in these days. They actually left their email address here so you could talk to them on MSN. I mean, leaving your email out in the open like this is something you probably wouldn't see anyone doing anymore. The same person also made a water polo map, which effectively is the same thing but in water, but also a volleyball mode, which I thought was pretty neat. I also found this ice hockey mode, which is basically just the soccer mode, but with horrible ice physics. I found Lolo Boo Boo's old website on the Wayback Machine, and it was basically just a place to download all of their maps, along with this soccer player character model that I think I remember some soccer servers using. Alright, let's go back to Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. I gotta tell ya, I lit up when I booted this map up because I recognized it immediately. I mean, I was as excited as these airboats are. This is another map that's just a fun way to play with the Source physics engine. Like Baron Mag 2, there are a few places you can go from the spawn room. Behind door number 1 is this massive cliff with a hurt trigger that instantly kills you if you jump down it. Basically, the whole point is to just watch the ragdoll tumble down and enjoy the brand spanking new physics and see if your guy makes it all the way down without getting stuck. And to be honest, I really miss this kind of stuff. I could spend hours playing with ragdolls back then. And behind door number 2 are these happy little airboats. Once you get in, you'll immediately realize that driving these is a terrible idea due to the jittery ass way these things behave in the modern build of this game. I decided to use the Buddha cheat code to make it so my health couldn't go lower than 1 so I could explore the map a bit better. Apparently you're supposed to try to jump through these rings that are floating in midair, but I don't think I managed to get anything to happen if I made it through them. There's one that has a green light glowing inside of it, but even that one didn't seem to react at all. And behind door number 3 is a massive Plinko board. If Drew Carey finds out about this place, it's gonna get hit by the Price is Right orbital strike. Anyway, you drop the puck and you can watch it fall from this little monitor over here. Let's test this thing out. Okay, let's do it again. Let's see if we can get 2 in a row. Hey, it got stuck. Last up, there's this portal that seemingly takes you to one of a few random places on the map and instantly kills you. Now, I was hoping that I would find some sort of secret room if I tried for long enough, so for a few minutes all I heard was... and I didn't even end up finding anything. Using NoClip, I found out that there actually are a couple of secret rooms, but I have no idea how you're supposed to get there. There are some sort of teleport triggers around the rooms that take you back to spawn even if you're using NoClip, so I'm kinda screwed. One room has a Ferris wheel, and one seems to be some sort of admin room that allowed you to turn on NoClip in Buddha mode or give you weapons. Now, I would look up how you're supposed to get there, but I literally can't find any mention of this map online, and I can't help but wonder if I'm the first person to even see this map in 20 years. Makes me think about how there's probably thousands of maps like this that have been completely lost to time now, but they really meant something to people back then. I know there definitely are maps that I would instantly remember if I saw them now, but I don't have them saved and I have no way of finding them anymore. So I'm just grateful for the ones that I did manage to save. I think source maps are fantastic time capsules of what PC gaming was like in the mid-2000s. There was this energy of innovation and making just this random shit with new technology. It's this sort of energy that gave us thousands of community-created maps, as well as games like Gary's Mod and countless other source mods that were quite popular for many years. I miss those times, and that's why I keep coming back to these games 2 decades later. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.